Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan salam sejahtera. Today, I and my teams one presentation about the assignment. The title is Soldering and Brazing. So, I'm Muhammad Faibul Basri and my teammates Muhammad Isyad bin Rajab, Muhammad Izzuan Ikhwan, and Muhammad Hazib bin Javidi. Alright, so introduction for soldering and brazing. Right, soldering and brazing are metal joining procedure that use a filler metal to form a connection between two base metal. Alright, soldering use a filler metal with a melting point below for 350 Celsius, which is widely used in electronic and plumbing. So brazing on the other hands employ a filler metal with higher melting point. Is a more than 450 Celsius, but lower than the melting point of the base metal. And it's commonly used to join pipe and heat exchange. Both procedures include the heating the joint regions to melt the filler metal, which is that follow into the gap between the base metal by capillary action and solidify to produce a strong connection. Okay, so next, the soldering. I give the definition. Alright, so the definition for soldering, the soldering for the joining of metal that using a filler material of a lower melting point that the parent metal to be joined. It uses a fusible metal alloy to create a permanent bond between metal parts. Alright, so for the soldering, then
The application for soldering is used in electronics and in jewelry metalwork. Second is some refrigeration components are often assembled and repaired by the higher temperature silver soldering process. Number three is it can also be used as a semi-permanent patch for a leak in container or cooking vessel. The last one is electronic soldering connects electrical wiring and electronic components to printed circuit board. It is PCBs. This type of solder joint, which is we have good solder joint and bad solder joint. For the good solder joint, the soldering is perfectly um, at the circuit, and the bad solder is um, the one is cold and the other one is too lot of temperature. And also there are advantages and disadvantages for soldering. First, advantages, um, soldering use low power, low temperature, and its microstructure is not affected by heat, easily automated process. And the fifth one is dissimilar materials may be joined. And the sixth one is high variety of materials may be joined. And the last one is thin wall parts may be joined. For the disadvantages of soldering, large sections cannot be joined. The first one, and the second one is flats may contain toxic components. Third one is soldering joints cannot be used in high temperature application. The fourth one is low strength of joints. And the last one is carefully removal of the flux residuals is required in order to prevent corrosion.
Hello, Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Hazib bin Javidi, and I will explain about brazing. Hello, the definition for brazing is a metal joining process where two or more metal parts are joined together by heating them and flowing a filler metal to the joint. The filler metal has a lower melting point at the base metal being joined. For the brazing method, there are two types. That is the torch brazing and the furnace brazing. The two is different because torch brazing is only for individual use, and so furnace brazing is for the mass produce, like in the industry. So the difference between them is torch brazing is brazing technique that use a flame often produced by a fuel gas such as acetylene combined with oxygen to heat the joint and melt the filler metal. This approach is adaptable that can be used for a variety of applications, dari repair to mass assembly, and this is contrast to furnace brazing. Same meaning but different use in terms of mass produce. Furnace brazing is suitable for mass produce and for complex assembly. That's all. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Muhammad Irshad. Next, I will explain another two brazing method, induction brazing. Induction brazing uses electromagnetic fields to heat the joint area and melt the filler metal without the need of a flame. This technology provides accurate heat control and quick heating, making it ideal for high volume production and delicate assembly. The second one is deep brazing. Deep brazing is a brazing procedure that requires submerging the entire assembly in a molten bath of filler metal or a molten salt bath containing the filler metal. This approach is ideal for mass production and advanced assemblies because it allows for the simultaneous brazing of several connections. Alright, now I will explain about the pros and cons about brazing methods. Okay, the advantage of the brazing methods is minimal distortion. Lower temperatures used in brazing compared to welding results in less thermal distortion and residual stress. The second one is joining dissimilar metals. Brazing can effectively join dissimilar metal such as cast iron to steel, which can be challenging with other methods. Lastly, the advantage of the brazing is cleaner joints. Brazing often produces cleaner joints with less need for post-braze finishing compared to welding. And the disadvantage of the brazing is, first one is lower strength. Braze joints generally have lower strength compared to welded joints, limiting their use in high stress application. And second one is hot resistant limitation. Braze joints may have lower heat resistance than welded joints, making them unsuitable for high temperature environments. And lastly, specialized equipment and training. Brazing often requires specialized equipment and training, which can increase the initial investment and operational costs.